Nintendo has announced that Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is shutting down. And when I heard this news, the very first thing I did was remind myself when the game came out. And I was shocked to learn that it's been out since 2017. The game is 7 years old, and I don't know, it's crazy to me. It feels like it was launched just yesterday, but I think this really, it really just kind of says something about Nintendo's whole, like, mobile angle. It really is its own kind of world, isn't it? Like, each of these products is absolutely a Nintendo product through and through. This is Animal Crossing we're talking about. Animal Crossing New Horizons was, like, such a big deal on the Switch, and yet, like, these mobile games, they really just kind of exist in their own little world. Like, unless you happen to play them or, like, know someone who plays them, they kind of just, they're just kind of there. I don't ever really hear anybody talking about them. So a game like this can just kind of sit there for 7 years. You know, it comes up here and there. But yeah, after 7 years, Nintendo is shutting it down in November. They announced that it's shutting down November 28th this year, so just a few months. But interestingly enough, they're doing something that I feel a lot of people probably hope that companies do for a lot of online games, and yet they almost never do. Nintendo is going to be creating an offline version of the game that you can get, and you can transfer all of your stuff over to this offline version so that you can continue to have it and to keep playing. And of course, this offline version will have 0 social features. So that means that you can't connect with friends and share stuff either, which is a little bit of a bummer. I mean, like, these games, it's all about the social element. So that is kind of disappointing. But my biggest question is, like, how is the game gonna function? And I've never played the game. I don't know, like, currently how it all works, but I know that it was pretty heavy on the loot boxes, like the fortune cookies or whatever. Like, it's the gacha mechanics. I know that was like a big thing. So I don't know exactly how that works when you have an offline version of a game where it is tuned in a certain way. It's designed so that you want to spend, money on premium currency or loot boxes or whatever, all that junk. Like, how does that work with an offline game? Are they going to make any tweaks to how it works? Are they going to let players naturally earn more of whatever in-game currency there is or something? I don't know. I really don't know. But it is really, really cool that they are going to be providing players with an offline version, although that does bring up the question, why, man, now that you've kind of like set that bar, now that you've kind of established that this is a thing that you can do, why don't you do it for your other games too? Other mobile games that have been shut down. A lot of people were pretty into Dragalia Lost or whatever. So that's one that just was a thing, and then it got shut down, and now it's just not a thing anymore. My mind immediately turns to Dr. Mario. Because, like, that's not even a social game. That's not even, I'm sure there were, like, social elements or whatever, but, like, for the most part, that was just a mobile Dr. Mario game. And I did not understand why they couldn't just keep that there. Just like, keep it up. Why didn't that get an offline mode? It's just a game full of puzzles. It's just a game. You designed all these puzzles. People just want to play Dr. Mario on their phone. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not like a big Dr. Mario fan or anything, but I feel like they did a really good job kind of translating that gameplay to touchscreen. So I would think that at any point in history, Nintendo would want people to be able to be like, yeah, I'll get the Dr. Mario mobile game for my phone, play some Dr. Mario. Yeah, like, why not there? Why did that not get an offline mode? Why did that just get deleted forever? And then, of course, you have to wonder if their other mobile games, which are still going, are going to be treated the same way. Mario Kart Tour, when that eventually shuts down, is that going to get an offline mode? You hope that it will. It probably will. It's probably their more popular of their mobile games, but, like, I don't know. We don't technically know for sure. And this really is a much bigger discussion for another day. Nintendo's whole mobile thing, it's been very weird. I believe they got into the mobile market because they felt like they kind of had to. the Wii U failed, and they were like, all right, we need to start like trying to leverage our IPs in any way that we can, making money in any way that we can. The mobile market is absolutely exploding, so let's bring our Nintendo-y expertise to this place. And you know, it's kind of been a pretty mixed result. I think this is one area where Nintendo's outside the box thinking has not aided them in the way that it has aided them in like other categories. You know, I think largely they have struggled to make mobile games that actually click with people. And unfortunately, they've seen that they get more success when they just copy everyone else. You know, when it's free to play, you don't have to pay any money up front, but then they lean into the gross like loot box mechanics and stuff. I guess there's a reason why all that stuff is so successful. It works. So it's just kind of weird, this place where we've gotten to, where they kind of started doing mobile games because they needed to a degree, but then like the Switch has only become more and more and more successful, and the more that's happened, the more they've been like, all right, we don't really need to do so much mobile stuff anymore. Like for a good few years, they were putting out games like crazy, and now they've kind of just stopped, and now they're kind of dwindling down and shutting down these games, which is weird. Again, it's a whole humongous thing, but I feel like they should have a place in the mobile market. I feel like there should always be a mobile representation for basically any Nintendo IP. And I do have to wonder, like, you're shutting down this Animal Crossing game, and so now in the same way that you can't just go play Dr. Mario on your phone, even though like there are all these other mobile games from other companies that stay up forever. They're there forever. They're all of varying levels of like popularity, and yet like they're always there. But now there will just not be a mobile Animal Crossing game. That's weird to me. That's very weird to me. I mean, it's possible that they're going to close this one down and then in the future give us a new one. Just like a brand new one, but like that doesn't really make sense to me. You've already got a player base here. You've already done all of this work. Pocket Camp, it's already perfect. You have the main home console Animal Crossings, and then you have this mobile one, which is a little like a camp thing. You're taking the idea of your little custom house experience and you're taking it on the go. It is Animal Crossing in mobile form. And that's really smart. And I wonder why they wouldn't want to have that be like a permanent fixture, a permanent part of their company, of the Animal Crossing IP. Going forward, why would you not want to have something on phones? You always want to be getting people with the phones, you know, reaching the bigger audiences afforded by the mobile market. Mobile games exist to keep just funneling people toward your, you know, at least in the case of Nintendo, you know, most other companies just want to make the money on the loot boxes on the games themselves. But in Nintendo's case, they want to get people hooked and point them to their systems. And there are going to be new Animal Crossing games, but you don't want to keep that touch point, that mobile platform that just kind of like funnels people this way. They don't want that. And of course, we do have to imagine, could shutting down this game have something to do with the fact that we may be getting a new Animal Crossing in the not too distant future? You know, sometimes Nintendo releases a mobile game and we think, oh, this might be setting us up for the full game coming later. And in the case of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, you know, it came out in 2017, and then 3 years later, we got the full new one on Switch. Could it be that taking this game down is also signaling in its own way that we could get a new Animal Crossing on the next system? For all we know, we'll be getting one next year. And like, my gut reaction is like, no, that's too soon. We just had New Horizons, right? No, that next year will be 5 years. And considering how big of a deal New Horizons was, considering how many Switches it sold, I could see Nintendo releasing the newest Animal Crossing pretty early in the Switch 2's life, but I guess that's another discussion for a whole other day. Overall, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp shutting down, I think I'm kind of surprised and not surprised. You know, not surprised because this is just Nintendo's mobile thing that they've been doing. They went into it pretty gung-ho, And then now it's kind of just winding down. It's clearly just not that important to them anymore. They're selling consoles, they're selling games. They really don't need to dabble over here. But then surprising, because I don't see why they can't maintain a healthy mobile platform. I don't see why they can't represent their IPs on mobile in a good and healthy way. You know, like, hypothetically, if the Switch 2 came out and, like, something went wrong and it was struggling and it was not selling even almost as much as the Switch, is Nintendo going to be kicking themselves for shutting down all these mobile games instead of, like, doubling down and trying to make them good and profitable? Or at that point, do they just scrap everything and just say, all right, we'll just do a new one. We'll do another new one. We'll try all over again. I don't know. It really is a weird whole conversation. I really should put together like a full video about just like the state of Nintendo's mobile games. That's really what this is. That's what this is teaching me. That's what I'm getting from this. I really have a lot to say about all that, because it really is strange. Nintendo in the mobile market. It's just kind of a weird thing. They really don't quite know what they're doing, do they?